That's what we do in this town. Sadness. A beautiful day outside. The weather is representative of if the Wings had won the Connor Bedard sweepstakes last night. That's what Connor Bedard on your team is. It's this weather every day.
They didn't win? Oh, man.
First of all, you need to take that hat off. You don't deserve to wear the winged wheel. You're a disgrace. Right. Your refusal to participate in a spiritual manner in the procurement of a generational talent in Connor Bedard, you don't deserve to wear that hat. You don't even, honestly.
You couldn't give Kenny probably the greatest birthday gift he ever had in his life. You couldn't do it, David.
They don't like the Red Wings in the NHL. We were never getting the pick.
But you got connections. You know people.
You lined it up. It's
like when everybody's standing in line to get in the club and you know the one guy you could talk to and you get right. That's you.
You know what kills me in all this? It's not that they didn't get Bedard. It's that the team who did, and it's not just the Blackhawks. I understand different conference. I know it's Original Six. I know they're hated rivals, but let's work with this. It could have been any stupid logo. The team that got him tanked for 10 minutes and just landed Sidney Crosby, just landed Connor McDavid, Nate McKinnon, just landed really what might be one of the top 25, top 30, top 40 players in the league from opening night at age 17 or 18 years old. Rico, they tanked for 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. We've been bad for a decade, and we still don't have a star. And the worst part is we don't have a star on the Red Wings. We don't have a star on the Tigers. We don't have a star in the Lions. We might with Aiden. We might. But even then, it's a defensive end. It's not a quarterback. It's not a wide receiver. Yeah. It's not. And with the Pistons, forget about it. You get people who want to act like Jalen Duren or Jaden Ivey are stars.
Well, you got Cade in some NBA commercials.
But they're not stars.
No, you're right.
When do we get something in this town? When? Like last night was an opportunity. I mean this. If the Wings could have gotten lucky, do you understand that they would have become the 1A to the Lions in this town like that?
Yep.
LCA becomes a hot ticket. The Wings become watchable. I mean, think about this. How long we been at the Iser plan, Kenny? Real quick.
About 3, maybe 4 years at this point.
Do you have a frontline star scorer?
Dylan Larkin? Lucas Raymond? No.
Pistons rebuild is about to enter year 5. Do we have a star? Do we have that dude?
No.
We don't.
They took Stanley Johnson instead.
Okay, then. I have to ask you the question. It's a gorgeous day out. I admit I got excited last night. I said, you know what? Come on, let's be hopeful. We got a 5% shot at this. See what happens. Of course it didn't happen. And you know what it is? It is a warning shot across the bow for next week when the Pistons don't win the lottery.
The Pistons have 3 times more likely a chance of getting it.
And they have a 0% chance.
They'll get it.
The league is not allowing a global, marketable player to land here.
Here's where I can give you, maybe you're wrong. The Pistons already have a Frenchman on the team. Where did they play a game last year?
Wait. You hate Killian Hayes. Okay. You cannot use him as the crux of an argument.
No. It's not about me. It's not about my feelings about a player. I'm looking out for the city. Where did they play a game last year?
Paris.
And he happened to show up. He's there. Okay. I'm seeing the wheels getting greased here.
Watch when Dallas wins this thing. Or Houston wins it. Or just, Rico, it ain't happening. I just want to, I understand winning's the ultimate goal, and can you win without star players? I mean, you can, but realistically, look at the New York Knicks right now. You know why they're losing to the Miami Heat? They don't have any stars. And Jimmy Butler is an MF star. Okay? You want to know why the Lakers are beating the Warriors? They got stars. They got 2 absolute stars. Why are the Celtics making these deep runs every year? Stars. Not doing it because of Marcus Smart. You're not doing it because of Sammy Hauser. You got stars.
Well, if that's the case, then yeah, you're going to have to go out and buy them.
You can't. Nobody wants our money. Look, all I'll tell you is this. Yzerman's summer, now that the Bedard dream is dead, and I know it's not like we had the number 1 odds, 2 odds, 3 odds. It'd be a totally different day, a painful day. I'm just frustrated that the Blackhawks didn't have to do the work in order to get that pick. They didn't have to do it. I said it on the air yesterday. I go, watch, he'll go to the Blackhawks. It's predestined. I said that. And the sick part is it happened because I still believe these leagues want players in certain places. You can laugh. You can tell me it's impossible.
Okay, but see, here's what I don't understand. Then why is Detroit in hockey on the outside? One of the original 6 teams, it was deemed hockey town for the longest.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Hey, Mr. Moonves, line 3. Hey, media market guy.
Well, this year specifically, it was because the top 3 picks belonged to Anaheim,
L.A.,
Columbus, and a hockey hotbed known as Chicago, original 6 market.
2 of those teams were going to get that pick. Columbus had no chance.
100%. And the Red Wings had the 5% chance to do it, not like 18, 14, whatever the top 3 were. It was the easiest place to stick him without anybody freaking out and going, it's rigged, which everybody's doing now anyway.
I mean, bottom line, Anaheim is L.A., L.A.'s Anaheim. It's all the same damn thing. Chicago, though? Oh, that's a different deal.
Right, but this is also a league that has teams in cities. Well, you got one team that's playing in a high school rink.
But they don't care about them.
But I'm just saying, that's a top 10 city, so don't give me this Moonves.
Oh, no,
stuff.
I know, but they're a financially bankrupt organization. Now, if they had a real owner, if Arizona had a real owner and a real arena and everything was set up, I'd argue they would have put them down there. Rico, listen, the bottom line is we don't get it. And the one year we did win it, as much as I like Cade's boring. I've used terms like winning player, smart guy, basketball IQ. He doesn't do the high-flying dunks. He doesn't shoot from 30 feet. He's not De'Aaron Fox fast. He's not a generational guy. He's a star. He's a good ball player. Oh, wow. That was our gift. Think about it.
You may get another one next week.
We're not.
With that attitude, it's not going to happen.
It doesn't matter what my attitude is. It's what I've gotten used to. We are a town that either by ownership level or bad luck, we're not allowed to have stars.
Okay, if Wembayama ends up going to Dallas, then you know what? You're a witch, and this is right.
Fine. I'll tell you right now, Houston's where he ends up.
Yet this is my fault.
It is.
It absolutely is. Because
and
the only thing that
the
can...
hat. Why Kenny just doesn't walk over and slap you right now, I don't know.
I'm embracing the wings.
Well, it's Kenny's birthday, so I don't want to see Kenny with assault charges on his birthday.
You know what? I'm like Sergeant Schultz. I see nothing.
Okay.
Kenny, it's your birthday. You get one
Turn these
freebie.
cameras on, Roberto, so I have my evidence.
You get one freebie.
But no,
David tripped and fell.
Kenny, how bummed were you, though? I mean, we all watched because of you.
You know what's funny is at the beginning of the day before driving into work, it was a nothing burger for me. I was feeling like no shot. There's 0%. And the more I started to think about it, I was like, 5% is bigger than 0%. And then you start doing the math. Oh, they screwed us out of 8 draft picks. They could just bump it right back up and make up for all those losses. And then I started to get excited.
But you start thinking, too, he slots in on this team. We're going to have a big summer. They'd be one of the 4 or 5 best teams in the East. And instead, look at this. Look at us now.
You know what? Here's what I will say this.
Eyes are playing in continuum, and we can't land a star player.
Here's what I'll say this, and I'll give it to the people like you who say you're never going to get anybody like that in Detroit, and the conspiracy theorists. You can put an end to this if you just showed us what happened in the room when the lottery happened. And if it just so happened to be Chicago, I could live and say, you know what?
They couldn't be bothered to bring the GMs to a live studio.
I was getting to that later.
That looks like an Odyssey sales meeting.
That
everyone's on a Zoom. What are we doing here?
Tell me you don't care without telling me you don't care.
Right. Look at the excitement in Computer 7. And you're like, what? Nice sport, Kenny.
I'm sorry. Were they too busy to just show up to a city? Like, the NBA sends players. They send fans. They send owners, kids,
GMs,
whatever.
Right.
There were a bunch of people that couldn't even watch because if you tried to stream it on certain platforms, it just gave you like an ESPN screensaver, and that was it. It was bad. Oh, no. It was a bad
it
production.
seriously looked like, oh, guys, we, you know what? Somebody has to go sit in for the draft.
ESPN didn't even cover it. They said, here, live from the NHL Network studios.
They got some of it wrong. They announced what was going to happen before it happened with the third pick in Columbus.
And they're like, and we have a move. And I'm like, wait, what? Who? What? Dude, get it together.
And leading into a playoff game. Of all things, we're trying to make this sport bigger. We're trying to get people in, and they showed their ass.
Put it this way, it'll never be confused for the NFL draft.
Definitely not.
Ever.
So here's my question. I know that it doesn't matter to a ton of people because if you don't like hockey, you don't care. All right. The bottom line is Connor McDavid was available last night. You know, Ovechkin was available last night. This kid is that level of player. He's been the number one pick for over 3 years. Okay, the piece they did on him before he went number one overall, well, he didn't go number one, but who are we kidding? Chicago's taking him. Like, it bums me out that the Tigers have been bad for so long. We don't even have a star. We don't. You can laugh and say, well, I mean, like, what good would a star do? I mean, even if Seattle was awful this year, they have Julio Rodriguez. Like, even these teams that are terrible, they have a pitcher I care about watching or a star. We have nothing. The Wings are deep into a rebuild. We have nothing. Pistons, nothing.
Yeah, your Tiger star is basically on the farewell tour. He's just out getting gifts from every team as he says goodbye to baseball.
Right. You may as well have a mummy in a casket. Yeah. Pour some gold coins in there and parade it around.
You got Aiden Hutchinson, who could be your guy.
There might be the one.
He could be your guy, but he's not a quarterback, and your quarterbacks are the stars of the NFL.
Right. We don't have any stars.
No.
Who are the Jersey players you have in this town? So I understand we had a 95% chance of not getting him. I know that. But is it wrong that I walked away and I'm just kind of like, what the hell, man? Can we get a break here? Like, no offense, it's not like we pulled a miracle getting the number one pick for Cade Cunningham. The Pistons were absolute ass. Yeah, you know what we would have to do?
They had the 14%, right?
This is last year, we didn't get any favors. We were terrible. Now they're 16-66. So they can earn the right to not get Wembanyama. Like, what's all of this for? Chicago tanked 1 year and got a generational player out of it. Hell, you could say, well, I still wouldn't trade places with him. Let me tell you something right now. You can laugh. Ask an NHL GM. I can give you Yzerman's situation, or you can take Chicago knowing you have Connor Bedard. I bet you a bunch of GMs will go, you know what? I'll lay my head down at night knowing I have that guy.
I can build around Bedard.
I want to know Kenny's opinion on that. I'm not being insulting. Kenny, right now, if you gave an NHL general manager, you could take Yzerman and what he's built in 4 years, or take whatever Chicago has, knowing you're getting Bedard, and you go from this point forward. What situation would you take?
And Kenny will give us that next.
Wow.
97.
Kenny was about to answer and just got butchered.
No, because we all want to hear it. Kenny, I'm giving you the full amount of time. Why?
Wow.
It's Kenny's birthday.
Yes.